In September 16, 1810, a man by the name of Miguel Hidalgo rang the church bells in Dolores and forever changed the world by shouting out the cry of Dolores. Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about the famous Cry of Dolores, or in the native tongue, Grito de Dolores. This is considered by many the start of the Mexican Revolution, and is why this week in Mexico, this happened. To many, independence really came on September 16, 1810. Although the official day for independence is Cinco de Mayo, which many of you already know, the biggest celebration is always held on September 15, 1810. But what started all of this? Why is it such a big deal? Well, let's look at the history. First of all, for those of you that don't know, Spanish ruled a majority of Central America and quite a bit of North America. If you've never seen the map of the full might of Spanish colonialism, here it is. So for those of you who always wondered why the 13 colonies didn't expand west, Spain. You see, Spain managed to gain all of this territory, but there's just one problem. When you acquire such a big mass of land, you need to be able to govern it. Could you imagine having more land across seas than in your mainland? This was the case in Spain. And because of this, finding a good way to rule was quite difficult. You see, Spain was outnumbered tenfold in the Americas, so they needed to find a way to be able to govern everyone else, even though they are still the minority. So what did they do? The Spanish caste system. If you've never heard of the caste system or what a caste system is, basically, the caste system is a hierarchy created by a government to establish power and who has the most power and who doesn't. In the case of the Spanish caste system, it was separated like this. At the very top of our pyramid, the Peninsulares were at the top. And these are basically just Spaniards that were born in Spain. Pretty simple. They got to rule and control what happened in the colony. Right after that, it's Criollos, which is Spaniards born in Americas. And these are basically just the descendants of the Peninsulares. And being the descendants of the original Spaniards, they basically had the same amount of power, but they were just slightly under mainland Spaniards. And after that, our pyramid kind of starts having multiple people be around the same level. And the best way to say this is those of indigenous race while still having Spanish descendants. So first we have mestizos, which is the descendants of both Spaniards and Native Americans. And right next to them we have mulattoes, which is the descendants of both Spaniards and Africans. And then right under that, those who have absolutely no power would be the full-blooded Indians and full-blooded Africans. And they were called Indios and Negros. So already you can kind of see why people had such an issue with this. Although it wasn't exactly the main reason, it was still an important factor in why Mexico wanted its independence from Spain. So while there were civil issues going on in the colonies, in mainland Spain, there was one particular thing that was going on: Napoleon. That's right. In February 16, 1808, the Peninsulares War began. And basically this was Napoleon invading Spain. And basically this was France versus all of Europe. France invaded Spain and created uncertainty in the colonies. And basically, if you dig a little deeper into this, it means that it was very uncertain what was going to happen with Spain, which in turn made the Peninsulares in New Spain, Mexico, nervous and not know what was going to happen. Take an uncertain ruler with civil unrest, and then you just square in the fact that Spain was really weak at the time, and you start having the perfect cocktail for a revolution. So once the French invaded Spain, Napoleon, yes, that Napoleon, forced King Ferdinand VII to be kicked out and be replaced by his brother, Joseph Bonaparte. And this created a lot of uncertainty in the colonies. You had some people that wanted Joseph Bonaparte as their king, and others that wanted Ferdinand VII to be their king. And of course, you had those who just wanted to be independent. And amongst them was Miguel Hidalgo. You see, there was a secret society already forming with pro-independence groups, and of course, Hidalgo himself belonging in this group. And this was located in San Miguel, which was close to Dolores. However, this plan was betrayed, and several members got arrested. However, Hidalgo caught wind of this and decided to make history. And of course, on September 16, 1810, he rang the church bells in Dolores and began what is now known the Cry of Dolores. Not much is actually really known of what he actually said, but it's speculated that it went something like this: "Long live Our Lady of Guadalupe, death to bad government, and death to the Gachupines." In his speech, he not only encouraged the town to revolt, but also to ask for racial equality and redistribution of land. What first started as a plot for independence became a huge social and economic war against the Spanish. And just like that, he managed to get thousands of revolutionaries to finally fight for their independence. However, his movement did not succeed. He was actually caught and executed July 30, 1811 in Chihuahua, Mexico. And although his movement did not succeed, Hidalgo became a symbol of independence, and Hidalgo inspired the next wave of revolutionaries that finally succeeded in gaining independence for Mexico. And now, September 16th is celebrated as Mexico's Independence Day. Hope you guys learned something. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.